CS2 has just had the greatest skins market crash of all time. And what's so special about this crash? Well, this crash isn't happening on the market, it's happening on Twitter, where skin traders are absolutely crashing out. So what's happened to cause this arguably kind of predictable meltdown? Well, let's get into things. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinBid. SkinBid is a skins marketplace where you can buy and sell and also sometimes bid on skins. Buying skins is quick, easy and convenient. There are thousands of items to choose from, and if you find something you like, it can be in your inventory in minutes and there are no hidden fees. If you're looking to sell, instead the site offers bots or peer-to-peer sales depending on what you're after, and you can cash out direct to your bank. It's a great site, check it out, link is in the description. So, let's explain the backstory. On October 23rd, Valve adds an update that allows players to trade up to knives. This instantly causes an apocalyptic skins market meltdown, with the market shedding 50% of its value in roughly 24 hours. Then, as quickly as it started, the market began recovering. People who had held their cool began snapping up the bargains, and suddenly the mood had turned from fear to greed. But while all this was happening, the market had an anvil hanging over its head. You see, players were pumping out tens of thousands of new knives using the trade-up contract, and on October 30th, those knives were going to start coming onto the market. So naturally, people started predicting yet another market meltdown. Traders saved their balance, excited to snap up the bargains, skin prices leveled off and even started to dip as the date grew closer, and then, as the 30th arrived, prices started going up, and then they kept on going up. In fact, at this rate, in like a week, we'll actually have completely recovered from the crash. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, this is all kind of obvious. If everyone expects a crash at a certain date and holds back their money to try and take advantage of it, there isn't going to be a crash. The market only dropped due to panic in the first place, and a panic-based crash like this can reverse just as quickly as the whole thing started. But even though the market wasn't crashing, something else absolutely was, and this was the mental state of a lot of CS2 traders on Twitter. You see, when the trade-ups update initially hit, a lot of people were convinced that skins would go to absolutely zero and made some fairly unwise decisions. People like The Slade on YouTube, for example.
At that exact moment, I was genuinely under the assumption that the entire market was gonna go to zero, so I did something very emotional, which was panic sell. Call me paper hands or panic seller, that is 100% true.
Now, when skins inevitably started rebounding, there was quite a bit of seller's remorse from these people. They just sold their skins for quite a big loss, and now they're watching them rebound right before their very eyes. And as it happens, Steam kind of has a get out of jail free card here. Don't like the fact you're getting wrecked after your panic sale? Well, that's okay. Hit the big yellow button here and you can get all of your skins back. And with thousands and thousands of dollars on the line, that is exactly what a lot of people did. People like The Slade on YouTube, for example.
Majority of the skins that I sold at insanely low prices, so then I had a decision to make. It was either a massive financial loss of $20,000, or I could trade reverse and get permanently banned on CS Flow. Now look, trade reversing is deplorable behavior, it's an absolute dick move at the expense of somebody else, so yes, it is true, I did revert the trades.
Now, reversing trades does have consequences. Inevitably, you will end up getting banned on whatever site you sold your skins on. But I mean, unless you're a trader, that's not exactly an issue. There's plenty of other sites to use, and if you're not a trader, well, your credibility here isn't terribly important either. So why not hit the button? Valve lets you do it. But when you reverse trades, like this guy did 2 minutes after he bought a $7 skin off me for some reason, there is someone on the other end of that trade, and that someone is likely to be not very happy about it, and that someone probably also has a Twitter account, and this is where the real crash happened. On Twitter, where skin traders who bought the dip were absolutely crashing out at the people who were reverting trades. People like The Slade on YouTube. Now look, The Slade is just unlucky to have been the highest profile person to revert a trade. Well, maybe it wasn't luck, but whatever. But the fact is, he is one of just thousands of people who are doing exactly the same thing at the same time. traders have poured millions into skins at the bottom of the market, and now they were losing millions as those trades were reverted back. People were watching as thousands of dollars of profit were being ripped from their inventory. Traders quickly began cataloging their losses, many of them lost half their purchases, and in general they weren't terribly happy about the whole thing. Some even took to call reversing trades like they're scamming, and for a brief time it seemed like Valve agreed. A Redditor reported he'd actually been banned for misusing trade protection, and this totally legit screenshot of Steam support confirming this started doing the rounds, until the dev stepped in to slap them down for being so gullible. Now, not everyone was sympathetic. In fact, some people argued that because using third-party sites was against TOS, traders shouldn't be complaining. This argument does have a problem though, that TOS doesn't actually say that. But anyway, this is where I think I need to ask the million-dollar question. Are all these traders just whiny little bitches? Do they just need to suck it up and adapt? Well, personally, I do think that if you make a decision to sell something, that should be on you. You shouldn't get to change your mind about it afterwards. But regardless of what I think, Valve made a decision to add trade protection. It's there, and I don't think they're removing it. I've seen traders, I'm not going to call anyone out specifically, but I've seen it, make suggestions that Valve should essentially make trade reversals an optional thing. But this would completely defeat the point of having it. This thing exists to allow scam victims to get their skins back. Scams have always been a huge problem in Counter-Strike, so clearly they are not getting rid of it or making it optional. But at the same time, I don't think Valve ever intended for it to be used to get back skins when you've changed your mind about selling them. People speculate this is all actually some sneaky move to push people onto the Steam market. I doubt that. If this is the intention, it's an inefficient way of doing it, but still, it's definitely fucking with trading right now. Not only are people who bought the dip getting fucked, it's causing all sorts of problems for the sites who need to process the refunds. And on top of this, what's the point of purchasing next time there's a crash if the seller can just revert the trade? Next time we have a crash like this, it's probably going to be a lot worse because there's no good reason for anyone to come in and stabilize the market. That's not what you want if you're going to have an economy. Some people have suggested that Valve could force people to prove they've gotten scammed. I kinda doubt they're gonna bother with something like that, but others have suggested that Valve could extend the length of time your account is locked for after you revert a trade. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea. But whether there's any chance of that happening is another matter. None of this is affecting Valve's bottom line, and at the end of the day, Timmy, who's level 7 on Faceit, can still buy a knife for his shooty bang bang video game just fine. So as far as Valve would be concerned, everything is probably okay. So are traders whiny little bitches, to answer that question? I mean, maybe 25%? I don't know, let me know your thoughts. In the meantime though, the fact that so many skins are locked down for 30 days due to trade reversals is probably just going to make prices go even higher. Despite the shock, the market has gotten its mojo back in literally about 5 minutes. It's definitely not the end of skins. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.